Yo guys, and as you can tell by the thumbnail and by the title of this video, I am back with another review, and this time it is the Raw After Survivor Series. And as you can tell by the thumbnail, I did give Raw last night a 4 out of 5. Um, I haven't wrote it down on here that I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought I did, but I haven't, which is a bit weird because I swear I did. But anyways, I did give Raw last night a 4 out of 5 because I didn't think it was a 1, 2, or 3 out of 5, but I didn't like quite think it was epic as Triple H put it himself, and I also don't think it was as good as some people said it was. There's not many people that have said that Raw last night was good, but yeah, I don't think it was that good of a show. It was, well, I say not good of a show, but 4 out of 5 is still good, but I didn't think it was that great of a show, I should say. Um, yeah, I don't know. It just felt a little bit flat for me personally, like a little bit. Because 4 out of 5 is still good, but obviously a 5 out of 5 is much better. But I'm gonna get straight on with this because I'm already filming this quite later than I normally do, so I'm already gonna start get kick. We're gonna kick straight on to what happened on last night's Raw. We kicked off the show with Io and Rhea Ripley, which was very random. Well, not random, but but random at the same time because obviously they won the women's war games at Survivor Series, so it doesn't in a way make sense for them to start off the show. But I wasn't expecting Rhea and Io to kick off the show. So yeah, that was interesting and definitely enjoyed it because we had the women start off the show, and then we had the women main event and end the show as well, which I really enjoyed, and we haven't had that in a while. But yeah, Rhea said that they're both banged up, but the Kabuki Warriors hurt her best friend in that being Io Sky, and she wants revenge and she wants a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Io said, to quote Oscar, nobody is ready for Rio. I actually thought she was going to say Io, so I said Io, and then she said Rio. I was like, oh. Embarrassing. And then Charlotte and Alexa interrupted, which I kind of had a slight clue when Rhea and Io made their way to the ring, that I was like, something's gonna happen, that Io is gonna mention the women's tag team championships, and then Alexa and Charlotte are gonna interrupt, and that's pretty much what happened. Alexa said that she couldn't help but overhear wanting a Rhea and Io wanting a WWE Tag Team title shot, but they're yet to have their rematch. Well, Charlotte said that they're yet to have their rematch, and they should be first in line. And then Alexa challenged Rhea and Io to a match in the main event, and then it was in a way a number one contender match. It wasn't um being told to us as a number one contender match, but it pretty much was giving off the vibe that it was going to be a number one contender match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. And yeah, there was a couple of other points that Charlotte and Alexa said during that segment, but I just write down like the main points now. I used to write down near enough everything, but lately I've just been like writing down like the main like bullet points from like segments that I feel make the most sense to write down and kind of talk about a little bit. But yeah, it was a decent segment. I won't say it was good or great, so I did give it like a moderate like 3 out of 5 like segment to start off the show. I personally didn't think it was a great segment or a good segment or a very high decent segment. It was like bang on in the middle personally for me. I would have liked for the Kabuki Warriors to interrupt, and then a brawl happened between them or something, and then later on in the night, obviously, we still got the match because Alexa still challenged Rhea and Io to a match later that night, so we still would have got that match anyway. But the Cooper Warriors could have like interrupted like after the Rhea accepted the match for them in the main event against Alexa and Charlotte, and then Asuka and Kai could have came down to the ring and they started brawling with one another in a way. Like that would have been quite cool to add that on a little bit. But yeah, so it was a decent segment, but personally, it could have been better. Um, And then we had the first match of the night, which was the last time is now semi-finals between Jey Uso and LA Knight. And I was proven wrong because I genuinely did think, well, I think actually 99.9% of us were proven wrong because I genuinely thought that we were going to get Jey Uso versus Gunther in the finals for the last time it's now tournament. But we didn't get that. We didn't at all. Yeah. This match was I don't know why I just did that. This match was a high 3 out of 5 personally for me because I actually pretty enjoyed it. Apart from LA Knight messing up once, but other than that, it was quite a smooth match and probably one of the best matches in the matches that LA Knight and Jey Uso have had together. Personally, like I actually think this is probably up there with one of the best matches that they've had this year with one another because I felt it was actually a really enjoyable match, way more enjoyable than I was expecting it to be. I'm not gonna lie to you, but yeah, Jay tried going for a spear like immediately once the bell rang, and then Ellie Knight also tried going for a BFT straight away as well. Both of them didn't pull any of their finishes off. We had a mid yeet and Yeroth in the corner. It was pretty back and forth for the most part, anyways. And then we had, yeah, I literally put on here. We had a lot of yeah versus yeet because we really did. Like every time they would go to blows one another, we'd have yeah, yeet, yeah, yeet. There was a lot of yeah and yeeting going on throughout this match. When it comes to the crowd, of course. Ali kicked out of the spear by Jay at 2. Generally thought that that was over. It wasn't that long into the match when Jey Uso did pull off the spear, so I was a bit like, oh, okay, Jey Uso's won quite quickly. Not great, but no. And then I kicked out, and then Jay went for a spear and a frog splash, and LA rolled him up, and got the win. Like, I was so expecting them to do Jey Uso versus Gunther. Like, I was 100% sure on it that they were doing Jay versus Gunther. Like, I really was. And we're not. We're getting LA Knight versus Gunther because if you're watching a Raw review, 99.9% I'm sure that you've watched wrestling. I've not watched wrestling. Obviously you watched wrestling, but watched Raw like last night or whatever. So yeah. Doesn't matter if I spoil what's happened on Raw when this is a Raw review. So yeah, so LA Knight is in the finals, which will happen on this Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah, I was really not expecting LA Knight to win, but it didn't end there because after the match, we got a Jey Uso crash out. I did wonder what was going to happen because they kept the camera on Jey Uso and Jey Uso like sat in the corner. So I was like wondering like what was going on. I was either expecting him to be attacked by this mystery man that obviously cost his team at War Games, but that didn't end up happening. We literally just got a Jey Uso crash out and he started destroying Prime Bottles. Don't think Logan Paul's going to be very happy about that one. He threw the steel steps and just, yeah, he's getting in his own head a lot, and I do think they're slowly turning him heel, and I like the way that they're doing it so far. Anyway, I don't want it to be a quick heel turn and he just turns heel like immediately. I want it to be slow but not too slow. And I feel like what Jey Uso done last night was the start of him like crashing out and then probably eventually going to blows with his brother and end up like doing Jey versus Jimmy at WrestleMania like 2.0. I have actually got 10 matches, I think, that I could see happening at WrestleMania. So I might at some point this month do a early WrestleMania prediction video because I have 10 matches and I could probably, after what happens on SmackDown, could potentially think of a couple more matches that could happen at WrestleMania. But I have 10 and I feel like people will be very happy with them, to be honest with you. The ones that I booked that make sense, like storyline wise, for WWE. That's what's going on in WWE right now. So I might do a video on my early predictions for WrestleMania, and I can look back on it and see how many I got right. So that will be coming out very soon because yeah, I've got some interesting ideas. But yeah, Jericho is slowly crashing out. and will eventually turn like full blown out heel Jey Uso, and I think we will get one of the matches I have written down is we'll get Jey versus Jimmy 2.0 because they need to right their wrongs from WrestleMania 40 because that was dreadful. The next thing to happen on Raw that I wrote down was the Judgment Day segment. I gave it a high 3 out of 5 overall because I thought it was a decent segment. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of was hoping for a little bit more tension between the Judgment Day, like a little bit more, because over the last like month and a half, I want to say we've had slight tension within the Judgment Day because Dominic's been teaming up with El Grande Americano a lot and not really helping out the Judgment Day, and obviously Finn Balor and JD lost their tag team titles because of Dom wanting them to put their titles on the line. Roxanne and Raquel haven't won any titles, so they have been slightly like hinting that Judgment Day's like splitting up. But now they've kind of gone back a little bit, and now they kind of seem like they're okay. Apart from Finn Balor, he doesn't seem very happy, because he looked like annoyed at what Liv was saying during this segment last night. But I kind of was hoping for a little bit more tension than we got. But yeah, Dom said he's now the greatest of all time because he beat John Cena, which I don't know about that one, but yeah, I would say personally I do think he's the best Mysterio. Not gonna lie to you. I'm not saying that Rey Mysterio is terrible. I just personally just prefer the character Dominic Mysterio and the way that Dominic Mysterio wrestles and what he's done in his career personally than I have enjoyed with Rey Mysterio's career. I don't know, like personally anyway. Rey Mysterio is still one of the greatest of all time. Don't get me wrong, but just I do prefer Dominic Mysterio. Dom said he couldn't have done it without the boys, Roxanne. Well, that sounds like I'm saying calling the boys Roxanne and Raquel. No, the boys and Finn Balor and JD McDonough, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, and then of course he's Juanita, Liv Morgan. Because I was so confused. I was like, hang on a minute, where the hell is Liv Morgan? Why has she not come out with the Judgment Day? But no, she got a whole own entrance into the Judgment Day segment last night, and Dom knew that John Cena would know what the Judgment Day were going to do, so they had to pull out the ace, and the ace card being what happened a couple of nights ago with Liv Morgan returning to WWE. Liv's been hearing that the Judgment Day is weak, has lost gold, and is falling apart, and she said that's going to change now that I'm back, and we are coming for everything, which I kind of like. Don't get me wrong, like I do like that we've got a group in. Oh well, no, we've got a group on Monday Night Raw. Sorry, because we've got the MFTs and the White Six, like big groups I'm on about on SmackDown, and then we've got the Vision and the Judgment Day on Raw. So I like that we've still got a big group on Monday Night Raw, but storyline wise, doesn't really make sense for them to carry on and act like everything's fine, considering the past like month and a half they've kind of been teasing that there's tension within the Judgment Day because of what I said earlier with Dom obviously causing JD and Finn to lose their titles because they made them put their titles on the line, and then obviously Raquel and Roxanne are not women's tag team champions or women's world champions, even though they've had multiple chances to be women's world champion and tag team champions. So for the sake of like there being a group on Raw, I'm glad that they've not split them up yet. But in terms of like a storyline with what's been going on in the Judgment Day lately, it's a bit weird that they're acting as if like nothing's like been wrong for the past like month and a half. So I know Liv touched on it a little bit, but I don't know. For me, storyline wise, what's been going on with Judgment Day lately, it kind of doesn't make sense for them to suddenly just be really happy, a happy family again, just for the sake of winning loads of gold. But it would be kind of cool to see them all like try and go after gold, but I think Liv Morgan's gonna win the World Women's Championship at some point. The Women's World Championship, sorry. Women's World Championship? Women's World Championship at some point, and Dominic will carry on being the AAA World Heavyweight Champion, World Champion, Mega Champion. Sorry, and then will carry on being the Intercontinental Champion. But I don't think Finn Balor and JD, Roxanne and Raquel are going to get it done with winning tag team championships, and that's going to cause that will then start causing the tension between the Judgment Day. But if Liv's not going to win a world title until either like Elimination Chamber or WrestleMania, then that means that they're doing slight tension, I guess, here and there with within the Judgment Day for like another like 4.5 months, not even longer than that, 5.5 months. So no, actually no, less than 5 months, less than 5 months. So I don't know how to feel about it really. If they're carrying on with the Judgment Day up until WrestleMania, and then Dominic and Liv got gold, but Roxanne and Raquel and Finn and JD doesn't, then they start to break up after WrestleMania is probably what they're going with, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But Liv then slapped Dominic Mysterio, and that's now their thing where they slap each other. Well, not each other, but Liv slaps Dom and then jumps onto Dominic, and then they do their nose thing that they do, and then yeah, that's very weird. But yeah, no, like I said at the beginning of this segment, when I started speaking about it, I think I told you the rating anyway. I did give it a high 3 out of 5 because I did think it was a decent segment, just kind of wanted a little bit more tension within the Judgment Day, I guess. Sorry that I keep sniffing up. I've still got a slight blocked nose and dry throat and that, yeah. The next match we're going to talk about is the World Tag Team Championship between Dragon Lee and AJ Styles versus the New Day, which I'm liking what they're doing with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. I'm liking that they're putting their titles on the line every week by the looks of things at the moment anyway. I did end up giving this match a high 3 out of 5 because I did think it was better than Jay versus actually no, did I give Jay versus I don't get Jay versus LA like the same rating because actually no, never mind. Because I didn't think it was better than Jay versus LA. I didn't think it was quite a 4. Like loads of people saying that this was a really, really like amazing match, but I felt like the ending sequence was very, very good. But other than that, personally, I didn't really enjoy this match as much to the point that I would rate it a 4 or 5 out of 5. But yeah, New Day were pretty much dominating the majority of this match. I'm not gonna lie to you, like the majority of the time, the New Day were on top. Like I didn't really see much offense from AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, to be honest with you, throughout this whole match. Until the ending like 5 minute, well not even that, like 2-3 minute sequel. Yeah, cause that's pretty much all I wrote, and like, this is literally all I wrote is that New Day were pretty dominant. It was pretty much New Day for the most part, and then I wrote the double stomp into the Styles Clash was insane, which it was. Like that was probably the best moment of the match, like for sure. That's such a fucking epic finisher, and I hope that they carry on doing that finisher because that was probably one of the best like sequence into a finisher ever. Like that was so fucking cool. So hopefully they keep doing that and it carries on like going well, and they don't mess it up. But also the dive from Dragon Lee onto Grayson Waller, and Xavier Woods was really cool as well. So that was a cool moment as well. And then I put AJ Lee retained, and that was pretty much it. I didn't write much because there wasn't really much to write down apart from the fact New Day were pretty dominant throughout the whole match, and then the end sequel with the stomp and into the Styles Clash, and then the dive from Dragon Lee to the outside onto Xavier Woods and Grayson Waller, and then that's pretty much all I had to. That's all I could write down. Sorry, but yeah, it was still like a very decent match, just not good or great, and not as amazing as people are saying it was, because I don't feel that. I really don't. But yeah, yeah, and then I did write down Stephanie's interview because I wanted to write down everything in this Raw review that was to do with Survivor Series a couple of nights ago, because obviously this is the Raw after Survivor Series, so that's why I've wrote down the interview, even though barely anything happened. I wanted to write down something that she done, on the night so that I could include it in my review because Stephanie was a part of Survivor Series. Yeah, so pretty much Stephanie just said that she showed that you shouldn't mess with her. That's pretty much all she said, really. Not really much. And then Liv Morgan interrupted and pretty much just warned Stephanie that she's back. And that's pretty much it. Just like kind of a little tease into probably the match that's going to happen at WrestleMania between Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vega. Like 100% is happening at WrestleMania, for sure, definitely. And yeah, I gave it a high 2 out of 5 because I felt that Stephanie's delivery, considering she only had a few sentences, was pretty good, and Liv being involved and giving us a little tease onto a match that we could potentially be seeing at WrestleMania was quite cool to see. So I did give it a high 2 out of 5, but not really much to talk about when it comes to what happened with Stephanie last night. God, my nose is so annoying. Yeah. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is the Vision segment, and probably second best thing on Monday Night Raw last night, personally for me, anyways. The best moment of last night's Raw we're going to speak about next, but this is second and very close to being first. And that is, like I just said, the segment that happened last night within the Vision. I will tell you now, I did give this segment a high 4 out of 5 because, yeah, we'll talk about it and why I gave it a high 4 out of 5 because you will know when I start speaking about it very soon. Paul pretty much shouted out everybody that was a part of War Games, like everybody. Well, not the other team, obviously, but all of the team that was on his side. He also announced that Logan Paul is officially a part of the Vision, and am I here for it? Yes, because he will bring the heat that the Vision needs. Like, he will bring that heat. He will, because people don't like him. No matter how good he is in the ring, and no matter how good he is on the mic, people do not like Logan Paul, and that's exactly what the Vision needs. And also, Logan is in his early 30s, so he's perfect to be a part of the Vision because he is the future of WWE if he carries on being a part of WWE because he's literally in his early 30s, so he's perfect for it. So I'm actually really happy that I'm really happy that Logan is a part of the Vision. Paul Heyman also announced that CM Punk will defend his title on the first Raw of the year next year. Well, next month, which is a bit weird that we're saying that. God. Against Bron Breakker because obviously Bron Breakker pinned the World Heavyweight Champion at Saturday Night's event of what? Survivor Series. At Survivor Series. So Bron Breakker is going to get his opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship on January 5th against CM Punk, which is very interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest. Yeah. And then Paul Heyman gave the mic to Bron Breakker, and I was like, oh God, please deliver a good promo, Bron. You are getting a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity on the first Raw of the year. You just won for the men's War Games for your side. Please deliver a good promo. And he didn't deliver a good promo. He delivered probably one of the best promos this year, and definitely the best promo that he has ever done in his whole wrestling career, because oh my God, he could like, he done fucking amazing. And now it's made me more invested in the Vision. Like, it's made me more invested in the Vision now because I wasn't at first, to be honest with you. And when it first came to a thing, I was invested in it, and then I slowly was like, they keep losing, so it's not really great. And then obviously when they started to win again, I was like, okay, back, kind of, I'm interested a little bit. And then it kind of went again. It just kept going up and down, up and down, up and down, to be honest with you, since they've started. But now it's like on and up, because Braun delivered just fucking amazing. Pretty much Braun said that he's upset because of how easy it was to pin CM Punk, which I wouldn't say it was that easy because Punk was in the match from the beginning and probably was given the most offense throughout the match. To be honest with you, like I feel like I saw CM Punk the most out of all 10 people. So I wouldn't say it was that easy to pin CM Punk, but you can go on. Braun called Punk a soft ass bitch, and I was not very happy about that because, as you can see, I'm clearly a CM Punk fan because I won't be wearing this for nothing. So yeah, I wasn't very happy about him calling CM Punk a soft ass bitch because he definitely is not. Because if you've seen the matches that CM Punk has put himself through since he's returned to WWE, he definitely isn't a soft ass bitch. Braun said that Seth should be worrying about Becky. What? I don't know. What the hell have I wrote here? Braun said that Seth should be worrying about the fact that Becky is a bigger star than he is. I'm not really sure why he went on Seth. I can't really remember why he went at Seth Rollins. That was a little bit weird. I can't really remember why he done that, but he delivered it very well. Don't get me wrong. Like he delivered every line very well. I may not agree with some of the things that he said, but he delivered them like perfectly. That it made the segment amazing. So it still was an amazing segment, even if I don't really believe what he said. Because I don't really know. I don't really remember why he went after Seth Rollins. And then Braun said that Punk tried to break his neck because, honestly, that clothesline that Punk done to Braun Breaker at Saturday Night's War Game. What the hell? That War Game was scary. That I genuinely actually thought that Braun Breaker was knocked out because that looked horrible. They looked, yeah, fucking horrible. And then Braun said that he's coming for everything of CM Punk's. Everything. I don't really know what he means by that because Punk's only got the World Championship. Oh yeah, because he said he's coming for his career, for his legacy, for his championship, for some other stuff as well. I think he said a couple more other things. But honestly, Braun Breaker is the reason for the high 4 out of 5. Otherwise, I probably would have given it, if Braun didn't deliver that great of a promo, I probably would have given it like a moderate 3 out of 5, personally. But Braun made it go from a moderate 3 out of 5 segment all the way up to a high 4 out of 5 because he delivered on his promo and he made the group look more vicious and scary than it has been for the past like 6-7 months, however long they've been a part of the Vision together. Because he fucking delivered, man. Like he delivered and has really elevated himself. If he carries it on though, like we have to wait and see if Braun carries on delivering the type of promos that he delivered on last night's Raw. If he doesn't, then the Vision is going to go down a bit, and that was just a one-off. But if he carries on delivering this similar type of promos to what he just delivered last night, then the Vision's in good hands. Like the Vision is in very, very good hands. So I guess we have to wait and see where it goes from here when it comes to Braun speaking on a mic. But yeah, that was amazing. And then when he threw the mic, Logan Paul catched it and went, damn, and then chopped the mic. That was fucking hilarious. That added to the high 4 out of 5, to be honest with you, because that was fucking hilarious. But yeah, no, definitely the best segment of the night. I'd say if I had to give like best segment and best match, of Raws, hands down, the Vision was the best segment last night on Monday Night Raw, like hands down. And then the third match of the night, that happened on last night's Raw, and what I said is my favourite moment that happened on last night's Raw is the match between Gunther and Solo Sikoa in the Last Time Is Now semi-finals, and I gave this a moderate 4 out of 5. Don't quite think it was a high 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5 match, but it was in the middle, bang on in the middle, because I did not think that Solo Sikoa versus Gunther was going to cook as much as it did last night. And if you haven't watched Raw yet and you just like to watch reviews, I would go back to Raw last night, wherever you watch Raw, and literally just watch Solo Sikoa versus Gunther and the segment before the Vision segment before, and that's all you will need to watch really, because that match last night between Gunther and Solo Sikoa didn't need to cook the way that it did, but it did. It was so fucking good. Again, sorry for like the fucking sniffles. But yeah, no, it was very back and forth match, and then Solo started dominating Gunther, which was interesting and wasn't expecting that at all. This is probably, I'm not gonna lie to you, also this is probably Solo's best match of this year, best match this year for sure, because he's probably been looked like the best. Unfortunately, obviously, what happened on Monday Night Raw with Penta is unfortunate, but I feel like he's done the best in this tournament, other than Gunther, like in ring wise, because he done so well last night, and it was so good. And then yeah, Solo was pretty much dominating Gunther, and then Gunther came back with the chops. He's always having a chopping fest. He does love to chop that guy, because it seems to be the thing that he does the most for sure. And then we had a lovely suplex by Gunther from the top rope that sounded and looked horrendous, because obviously Solo's quite a big guy. You know, he's not a tiny guy like a John Evans or a Carmelo Hayes or anything like that. He's a big guy, so it was yeah, sounded and looked more insane than the other two did because of the size of Solo Sikoa. No offense to Solo Sikoa. We had another great back and forth of chops, punches, kicks, clotheslines, moves to the throat. Like, it, so good, so good. Like, guys, like, proper, I promise you, if you want to watch just one match on YouTube or WWE's YouTube channel or WWE on Netflix or whatever you watch WWE on, Gunther versus Solo is the match to watch. Don't bother about watching the other three matches. I would just watch. If I've had to pick one, I would tell you to watch Gunther vs Solo, because it was honestly so good, like so good. Solo almost pinned Gunther, and I was like, oh my god, like Solo Sikoa's gonna win. We're gonna get LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. Okay, a little bit weird, but I'm here for it, I guess, because it's not being predictable, and it's not going to be a predictable match in it being Gunther. Okay, no, but no, that didn't happen, of course, because like I said, almost pinned Gunther. Tama Tonga started to get himself involved in the match and try and cost the match for Gunther, but Gunther was able to win by cheating with low blow and powerbomb, and Gunther has advanced onto the semi-finals, which again will happen on Friday Night SmackDown this Friday, and will go one-on-one with LA Knight. LA Knight did make his way down to the ring to confront Gunther, and Gunther didn't really say anything, but LA exchanged words with Gunther, and yeah, I mean, I would rather LA Knight, but if I had to pick, I would rather LA Knight versus Gunther than Jay versus Gunther. So I'm alright with it being LA Knight versus Gunther. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I'm actually alright with it, because it's not predictable as I thought it was going to be. As in, like, I honestly thought that from the beginning it was going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther. So I'm liking the fact that Jay made it all the way to the semi-finals, but didn't quite get to the finals and face Gunther, because now we get LA Knight versus Gunther instead, which is different to what 99.9% of wrestling fans thought was going to happen. Like, everybody thought it was going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther in the finals. So at least they've swerved us a little bit with it being LA Knight. So that's interesting. Before we speak about the main event, we had a couple of things announced for next week's Monday Night Raw. The winner of LA Knight versus Gunther will obviously speak about the upcoming match with John Cena that is happening next Saturday, which I didn't think about it like this, but my mate, when I was talking to him on the phone last night, because sometimes we call after a Raw and we speak about it and kind of do like a little bit of a review kind of thing. And yeah, he mentioned that John Cena's retires next week. And I didn't even think about it like that. I honestly, it doesn't feel like it's next week. And then when he put it like that, I was like, oh shit, yeah, he is. Like, John Cena is retiring from wrestling, from in-ring wrestling, next Saturday. Like, next week. Like, we can officially say that John Cena is retiring next week. What the fuck? Like, what the hell? Where's this year gone? Like, we're now saying that John Cena's retiring next week, not next month, or in 6 months' time, or in 8 months' time, 10 months' time. Like, John Cena is retiring from wrestling next Saturday, and that is next week, guys. Like, next week. Like, it's insane. Like, I've said this a few times in videos. I'm not the biggest John Cena fan. I'm still not a fan of John Cena's. Like, I'm still not a fan of his. Like, he's not in my top 5 of favorite wrestlers of all time, and he's not in my top 5. This might hurt a few of you, but he's not in my top 5 of greatest of all time either. Personally, personally for me, he's not. He's in my top 10, but he's not in my top 5. But at the same time, he's part of my childhood. I started watching John Cena when I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old when I started watching wrestling and started watching John Cena, and I grew up in the era where John Cena was on top, like on top of wrestling, like he was everywhere, you know. So it's in that aspect, it's sad because that's childhood. Childhood Charlie is like, oh my god, my childhood is retiring. Like that's crazy. You know, someone that was part of my childhood is retiring, but adult Charlie is like, yeah, he's it's very sad for child Charlie that he's retiring, but I'm not a fan of his, so I'm not like I'm definitely gonna get emotional during it because I think CM Punk's gonna cry, and that's what's gonna make me emotional. CM Punk crying, to be honest with you, um, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm really really sad that John Cena's retiring and that he's one of my favourites now because that's just not okay to do that when I've never said that John Cena is one of my favourites. So that would just be a bit weird of me to do that now, and he still isn't. Like I said, he still isn't. But I feel more sad for John Cena, like hardcore John Cena fans, than anything. And it's just a bit crazy to think about that he's actually retiring next week. It's just mental. But yeah, the winner of LA Knight and Gunther will. I don't know what they're doing. I think because I was talking, I was voice noting my mate Alex, when he during like Raw, what happened on the previous Raw with I think previous match, sorry, with Gunther and Solo. So I didn't quite hear what they were saying, but I think they just said the winner will be on Raw and they will speak about the match against John Cena. I don't know. I presume anyway. I don't know. But we only got one match official for next Monday Night Raw, and it is the War Raiders versus Dragon Lee and AJ Styles for the WWE Tag Team Championships. I feel like we got another match made official for next week, but I don't know what that was. I swear someone else. I swear Adam Pearce said, "Oh, that can happen next week." Maybe. Oh no, I think next week we're gonna get Logan Paul versus. Oh no, I know. There is another match that's happening next week. Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor. I haven't wrote that down though, but Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio is also happening next week on Monday Night Raw as well. Yeah, that's also happening, but I didn't write that down. I was like, I suppose there's another match that's happening, but I was voice noting when Logan and Rey Mysterio were doing their segment, so I was like, didn't quite catch on to what they were saying, but I did hear the commentators or something say that Rey Mysterio is facing Finn Balor next week. So yeah, we have got another match official then. So yeah, 2 matches official, and then the winner of LA Knight and Gunther will be in the ring to talk about the match that's upcoming next week on that night's main event against John Cena. I still meant all that he retires next week. But anyways, we are now on to the main event of Monday Night Raw between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Wasn't shown to us as a number one contenders match, but it was kind of given number one contenders match. So I'm going to say it was. I did give the match itself a moderate 3 out of 5 because I don't think it was very decent, good or great. Not gonna lie, I thought it was quite a moderate 3 out of 5 match between the 4 of them, considering the power that we had in that ring. It could have been a lot better than it was. It started to cook towards the end, and then obviously what happened at the end happened, but we'll get onto that in a second. But yeah, Charlotte took out Rhea by accident with the kick to the face. Seeing Rhea and Alexa in the ring together, in a one-on-ones like scenario was very cool to see, and I want to see more of that. I want to see more Alexa and Charlotte in the ring together because that was quite a little gimmick. No, not gimmick. That was quite a little. What's the word I'm looking for? Interesting. It was very interesting to see Alexa and Charlotte in the ring together, and I want to see more of it. Like I do want to see more of those two in the ring. It was very interesting and definitely something I want to see over and over again. We finally got Charlotte and Rhea in the ring together again because obviously I don't think they've had a match or been in a ring in opposite sides of one another since WrestleMania 39, so since 2023, which is actually quite insane that it's been like over 2 years since they've been in the ring together in a one-on-one scenario. So that was quite cool to see those two in the ring together. It was very back and forth between them, very back and forth, and you know I love a very back and forth match. We had an insane looking DDT by Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to Rhea Ripley. Like, she proper sold that as if she landed like square on her fucking head. That was insane. We had a near fall to the sister. It's not called the Sister Abigail. She calls it something else, I swear. But she shouldn't call it the Twisted Abigail. Is it the Twisted Abigail? The Twisted Bliss. That's what she calls it, isn't it? The Twisted Bliss, right? Or was that something else? I don't know. Anyways, we had a near fall to the Sister Abigail. I'm just gonna call it Sister Abigail for now. I generally thought that Alexa and Charlotte were going to pick up the victory. And then we had a Riptide and Moonsault. Oh, I put by Flair. I meant to put, but Flair made the save, but I put by Flair. I was like, huh? But Charlotte Flair doesn't do the Riptide? What? But yeah. Rhea done the Riptide. Io Sky done the Moonsault to Alexa Bliss, but the count was saved by Charlotte Flair. And then as it started to get good, like I said earlier, the Kabuki Warriors got involved and caused a disqualification and started beating down Charlotte, Alexa, Rhea, and Io. And then Bayley's music hit, and Bayley and Lyra came running down the ring. They started beating up the Kabuki Warriors, but the Kabuki Warriors then got the upper hand again, and then Lyra and Bayley got the upper hand again, and it didn't end there. Then Liv Morgan attacked Lara Valkyria, and then attacked Bayley, rolled Bayley into the ring, and then the Kabuki Warriors attacked Bayley, and then Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez then attacked the Kabuki Warriors and Liv Morgan. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez stood tall with the tag team championships in the hands of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. So they ended the night with the girls of the Judgment Day standing tall, which I don't mind. But like I've said, from what's been happening within the Judgment Day over the last like month and a half, it's a little bit weird to see the Judgment Day all of a sudden like acting as if like everything's all like sunflowers and roses. Is that the right term? I don't know. All happy land anyway. Which hasn't been for the past like month and a half. So it's a little bit weird that the Judgment Day stood tall, a little bit, but at the same time, I'll allow them to slowly build the tension again now that Liv's back, because obviously Liv Morgan's only just come back. So if they just split up the Judgment Day like immediately after Liv Morgan coming back and helping Dom to retain his Intercontinental Championship, who is a part of Judgment Day, and help Judgment Day to have more championship gold, it would have kind of not made sense for them to turn on Liv and like dominate like immediately. So I'm kind of glad that didn't happen, but just wish there was a little bit more attention within the Judgment Day. But yeah, what I would love to see, and one match quickly before we end this video, because it's been quite a long video actually, goes to show that Raw was actually pretty good last night, but just not quite a 5 out of 5 personally for me, but it was still a low 4 out of 5 personally for me anyway. There wasn't a lot of moments in this Raw last night that would make it better than a low 4 out of 5, to be honest with you. Quickly before I speak about this match, we had obviously the women kicking off the show and ending the show was one of the reasons for the 4 out of 5. Bron Breakker's promo was another reason for the 4 out of 5, and Logan Paul catching the mic and saying damn at the end, that was quite funny and added to the 4 out of 5. We got a tease of Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer that added to the 4 out of 5. Jey Uso's crash out, and even the match itself has played a part in the 4 out of 5, and the Gunther versus Solo Sikoa match has added to it being a 4 out of 5 Raw. And then the women tag team build up that we're getting, the women's tag team build up with all the different tag teams when it comes to the women, and they're actually getting good storylines by the looks of things, and getting prioritized. I butcher that word, but as part of SmackDown and Raw, like the women's tag team division is what's the word? Prioritized? No, I can't pronounce the word. I can't pronounce the word. Like, I'm just gonna say they're getting shown more on Raw, and it looks like we're getting the tag team division is hopefully gonna get better storylines than it has been, and we're gonna see a lot of women getting a lot of opportunities in 2026, and they deserve it because the women have saved WWE this year. Like, they really have. Like, the women wrestlers for WWE have saved WWE. Like, they have hands down. They have, obviously there's been moments within the men's divisions as well that have helped WWE this year, but hands down the women have done the best this year for sure. So they deserve, like, to be shown, and now it looks like we're getting a lot of tag teams going after each other, which I couldn't be happier. And a match that I can see happening, that I would love to see happening, is that at Elimination Chamber we get a 6-women's tag team Elimination Chamber match. Because come on now, that would be sick. We get Nia Jax and Lash Legend add themselves to this tag team championship storyline. Obviously Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, Lava Carrier and Bayley, and then Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, and then the current women's tag team championships champions the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. A 6-women's elimination chamber match in Chicago, Illinois. Yes, like, I would be so down for that, but yeah, that's what Raw ended with Judgment Day on top, and we started with the women and we ended with the women last night. And yeah, guys, that is everything that happened on last night's Raw. Way longer than I was expecting this to be honest with you, but to be honest with you, I did write a lot of things down. Like, I wrote all this, and then I also wrote all this and all this. So, considering how much I wrote, it's still not a 5 out of 5 Raw for me personally. I'm sorry, but it's just not. But like I said, I wanted to write down everything last night that happened within the that happened at Survivor Series, and so that's why I wrote quite a lot down, I think, this time around. And obviously the matches last night, I wrote down every single match. I didn't miss out one match last night because 2 of them were the semi-finals, and one of the matches was a championship match, and then obviously the main event. So I wrote down every match last night. So it does seem like I really, really, really enjoyed Raw last night, that I should give it a 5 out of 5. But a lot of that is because I had to write it down, because it was, the matches make sense for me to talk about, and I want to talk about all the segments that happened on last night's Raw, because they were part of the Survivor Series. So, but it was still a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 is still good. It's still good, but I feel like Raw last night could have been better. It could have been better. And I feel like them dragging this mystery guy on as well is kind of a little bit annoying, but it's what it is, I guess. But anyways, guys, this has been Charlie, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.